Hello, welcome to this your channel, the Eurofan. That's me. When it seemed that Greece found its path again in the contest, it had a very serious flop which was unthinkable a few time ago, with the adult plays and weird performance presented by bitter Bernicos in last year's contest. Also staying with the controversies happened during the Eurovision season, from the selection process as suspicious credibility to the witch hunt towards the Greek delegation. The Hellenic country looks to wait to compensate from the disaster happened on last year. For this, let's take a look now at the artist who had this time the task of representing the Mediterranean nation in Malta. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Greek entry for Eurovision 2024, which has been represented by singer Marina Satti with the song Zari, which in English translates as Dice. I begin as usual checking out the biography and career of this multi-talented artist before landing on Swedish lands. Marina Satti is a Greek singer, songwriter and producer, from Sudanese father and Greek mother, coming from the country's capital Athens. Although she lived her first years in the city of Heraklion in the island of Crete. Since very early age, she will be interested in music, starting to take piano classes at the age of 7, and later taking singing classes during her high school studies, also developing a passion for color music. After finishing her high school studies, she will move to the capital to begin studies on architecture at the National Technical University of Athens. During her college days, she will also begin the theater studies in at least a couple of drama schools, as well as jazz music in the Philippos Nakas Conservatory, then eventually leaving her university career to fully focus on her musical studies. In 2009, she will be graduated from the conservatory, having her degree in classical piano and music theory, also with honors in lyrical melody. As a curious note, she will take part for a short time in the European Jazz Orchestra, sponsored by the European Broadcasting Union, which organizes Eurovision every year as we already know. Shortly after, she will receive a scholarship to study at the prestigious Berklee College of Music in Boston, United States, specializing in this case in jazz composition and contemporary writing and production, having her degrees in 2011. Stands out that during the 2 semesters she attended, she had the chance to participate as a singer in a couple of vocal groups, and also will start to develop her own musical style, combining elements of Greek, Arab and Balkan traditional music, with which she grew up since very early age. In 2012, she will start to release her first singles, which do not have too much transcendence at first, but later the singles Coupes and Mantissa, released in 2016 and 2017 respectively, will make her receive critical acclaim, reaching millions of views on YouTube very quickly. However, despite this sudden success, she will make a pause in her singing, facing two female vocal groups, Phones and Chorus, with a musical repertoire focused on Greek traditional music combined with contemporary sounds. As the artistic director of both groups, she will tour with them not only in Greece but also in some European countries. Many years after the release of her first singles, she releases her debut studio album, which blends traditional sounds with the urban music and pop, achieving a big commercial and critical acclaim success, followed by an extensive tour through all Europe, this time as a soloist. On the other hand, stands out that her name was mentioned a few years ago to represent Greece at Eurovision. It was in late 2019 when she was contacted to offer her the opportunity to participate for the country in the contest to be held on Rotterdam, Netherlands. But during that time, she and her team rejected the offer due to the impossibility to prepare an entry in good conditions. Having checked out a little about this previous precedent, let's see how she ends up being selected this time. After the resounding failure during last year's contest, the Greek public broadcaster was decided to give the country back to the splendor achieved during the post-pandemic editions, A proof of that was the return of the delegation of the working team, who previously prepared the entries in 2021 and 2022, with which they achieved outstanding results in the contest. Later, as it became usual, many names were rumored as the possible artists to represent Greece, without any statements being made by the broadcaster, until in late October of last year, it was surprisingly revealed the internal selection of Marina to wave the Greek colors at the contest. However, it was still pending to decide the song she would perform in Malmö, in a particularly special edition for Greece, as this year marks the 50th participation in the contest. So the goal was focused on searching for the song that could be able to get a desired second victory. For this, the day after the announcement, it was open a submission period for the songwriters who were interested in sending songs to be performed by Marina. The only condition was that the proposed songs had to comply with the contest rules, closing it by early December of last year. At first, there were rumors of the organization a televised show that will feature the selection of the song from the public, but the broadcaster stated later that show was not in their plans. It was also additionally confirmed that, unlike last year, there will not be an expert panel to decide on Marina's entry, so the selection will be made exclusively by Marina, with a working team formed by members of her record label and from the broadcaster. At the same time, Marina herself has been writing songs during the process. In case of none of the received proposals during the submission period were liked by her. Time gone by without having more news about the entry, until during early March in a special show organized by the broadcaster. It will be presented by the song and its accompanying official music video. Blending traditional and modern to the Greek style. Let's see a little more about this singular proposal with which she attended the contest. Being loyal to her unique style, as she has commented herself during the search and selection of the entry. The melody blends urban music, specifically traveled with Greek traditional music. I have to say that despite urban music is not among my favorite musical tastes, I like this song a lot, and also makes you move your body one way or another. Marina's voice, on the other hand, is pretty good, perfectly fitting to the musical genre she performs. Talking about the lyrics, it has been written by herself fully in Greek, with just a couple of phrases in English, together with her usual working team from her record label. The track represents a return to the native language of the country, although it entails a certain risk, as the last entries presented in Greek during the last decade had not had good results, being eliminated during the semifinals. About the contest behind the lyrics, Marina herself has commented that she wanted to break the stereotypes from the Greek culture and music with her proposal, by presenting how is the new generation of young Greek people through the mixture of the musical genres mentioned previously. Reading the lyrics in detail, previously translated at first, it talks about love, but also about the emotional risks we assume by loving someone. Just like when we make a bet for something, and we do not know what will be the result from that bet. From this, the song's title in this case, with the die symbolizing that ludic aspect by leaving those emotions to fate and luck. I will say that the song intends to reflect that there are things in life that are not assured, and that are also important, like friendships or love relationships, and that sometimes we have to take chances with the good and the bad things after deciding to love someone, because in the end it's part of life itself. Having seen a little more about the song, let's take a look at the official music video presented to us by Marina as part of her proposal. The plot begins from what it seems to be an airport, while a Greek traditional music background is heard, realizing in this case that it will be the Athens International Airport, where you can see people reuniting with their beloved ones after their flights. And the focus is set on one of the passengers also arriving. It's the typical tourist coming from America or Northern Europe, wearing light clothes, sunglasses, not one but two reflex cameras. A suitcase full of stickers, probably of the diversity of destinations and places visited by him, and wearing socks with sandals. This is so typical that I could not help to love myself. With the song's intro, Marina is seen being a taxi driver ever outside the airport, holding a sign which says Eurovision Tour, giving the idea that she offers a tour about the contest in the city. As the first verse comes, the shot is somewhat impactful by seeing that taxi skating in an open street, with the skeptical look of a lady sitting in the porch of her house while knitting. The scene later changes, in which there are diversity of shots, with Marina walking or being a tour guide, showing most of the touristic points of interest in Athens, like the Acropolis, the Odeon of Herodes Atticus, the Mount Lycabettus, the flea market at Monastiraki or Plaka and Momonoia neighborhoods. For those who have traveled to Athens sometime, they must have visited most of these places for sure. What I find pretty funny with these shots is that all of these touristic places are presented with a lower caption simulated to be that touristic video blog. It is Marina doing mockery of the classical stereotypes that many foreigners have when they visit Greece, like tzatziki, gyros, feta cheese, Leonidas, and many more, going further and showing more about current Greece. And I have to say that I love it. Cheers for her. In some moment towards the first chorus, it sings that Marina's taxi got overheat, with a lady dispelling the smoke foaming from the car with a towel, but she is instead inside a typical local restaurant, performing a choreography with a pair of female dancers. And at the same time there are a group of gentlemen doing a typical dance to the sound of a caramuza. In another different shot, Marina is seen doing another dance with a white handkerchief, while the same gentleman from the restaurant still perform the typical dance around her. With the second verse, there are shots of both Marina and the tourists in the same touristic places, keeping that same dynamic during the second chorus, seeing extra shots of the taxi still skidded, with the same people dancing, including the lady that was knitting before. In the bridge of the song, the scene changes again, with Marina sitting on the roof of the taxi, while the tourist is putting his suitcase in the car trunk. It comes to attention that during the instrumental part of the bridge, the skidding of the taxi continues, with the tourist in the backseat holding himself as he can, while Marina is still having a great time while still skidding and posing for the camera. Again, I love this because how funny and extravagant is the situation, and the expression in her face says everything. With the last chorus, the choreography of Marina with the two female dancers continues, with alternated and continuous shots from many spots of the city. Then, in the song's outro, you can see that her and the female dancers now have a carefree and fun attitude, while there are many images embedded with phrases in Greek: a gyro, a feta cheese, some dice that has to appear in some moment, a bus, a Greek warrior helmet, and even a cat. Towards the end of the music video, there is a succession of some pictures of her with the tourists, finishing with a distant shot of Marina among the tourists in the Acropolis with a text in English which says, "Dear Europe, I am sending much love from Greece, the birthplace of democracy, philosophy, philoxenia, and a bunch of other long words. See you soon in Momo. Kisses, Marina Satti." With this postcard signed by her, the performance finishes. Taking into account how original and authentic was the music video, I have the feeling that she will take most of this urban Greek party to the stage, and in this case the expectations were high, as she was one of the few artists that did not attend any of the Eurovision parties of the season. For the staging in Malmö, it could be seen during the first rehearsals that she will be joined by 4 dancers, recurring to visual graphics that are mostly set as secondary, as the main focus will be in her performance together with the dancers. Marina wears a very casual and urban outfit, with an asymmetric white top and metallic skirt and pulp boots, and the dancers on the other hand are wearing black casual outfits. Watching her live performance in the second semi-final, it starts with Marina in a portrait shot, like in a live streaming by Instagram or TikTok, then appearing as stream of hearts during the song's intro. With the first verse, the shot changes to landscape, where it comes to attention that for the first 2 minutes it is a single continuous shot. For the first chorus, the dancers join her, and they start to perform different choreographies similar to the ones seen during the music video, keeping that same dynamic with the second verse and the second chorus. In the other hand, the lighting used is the bare minimum, while in the visual graphics are seen footage imagery and short videos of her with hue and saturation effects, which I think are not suitable for people who suffer from epilepsy. During the second chorus, both Marina and her dancers take out some white handkerchiefs to perform another typical dance like the one seen in the music video as well. For the bridge, the single continuous shot is finally broken, and the scene changes with her laying down herself on the stage floor, seeing in the left screens of the stage floor a satellite view of what I think is a residential neighborhood in Athens, with the dancers lying themselves down around her, while the shot is slowly getting away. By the instrumental part of the bridge, they get out once again, and there is another typical dancing and spinning shot, while there is visual noise on the left screens of the stage floor. By the last chorus and the outro, they return to the same danceable dynamic of before, until they finish the performance at the front of the stage. The presentation of the proposal was not bad, it was also entertaining as well, but I had expectations for this being more impactful, following a much similar trend like in the music video. The vocal performance from Marina was quite acceptable in this case. There were parts in which she was a little out of tune, but it did not affect that much to what was being shown in the proposal, which I guess it has been thought by her to be more carefree and relaxed, which worked for her to conveniently qualify for the grand final. Then later during the grand final on Saturday, she will be at the half of the ranking at first and then knowing the points from the jury, until she got a brilliant boost from the televote, to finally end up in the 11th place in the final ranking. Making a summary of all the comments, the Greek entry for this year is fantastic. There is no doubt that the proposal has supposed a radical change after the failure suffered on last year, and that in addition the fusion of the old and new makes it pretty original and authentic. The fact of Marina making me like an urban music song that much, taking into account that it is a musical genre that does not get my attention normally, it is quite remarkable. With this result, Greece takes back its path again, also achieving a good performance in the musical charts, not only in the country but in other European countries. Something that had not happened with a song performed in Greek since many years ago. About Marina, she has moved forward with her musical projects. In fact, 3 days after the grand final, she has released her first EP, in which the song with which she has participated in the contest is naturally included, and that has started to promote with the release of the third single from this recording work, with a good ranking achieved at the contest. She will be busy performing gigs throughout Greece for sure, and probably by many European countries as well. And you, what do you think about the Greek entry for this year? Come on and leave your comments down below, the discussion will be interesting for sure. And this is it for today's episode. If this video has been of your taste, give a like so it can be reached to more people. Also subscribe to my channel, enable notifications by hitting the bell, and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.